Hello, everybody. I got a story to tell you, and it is a true story because it happened to me today. I am somewhat of a hero. I saved an elderly woman's life today, and I'm not going to go into too much details, but if she would have, if I wasn't there, she could have done some damage to her head, and it probably would have killed her. She would have bled out. But I will tell you a little bit of what all happened. Went to work this morning. Thought it was going to just be a normal day at work. And towards the end, I went out to cover. Well, no, I wasn't covering Eric's shift. I came back in from covering Eric's shift, and I offered to help this elderly woman out. And um, everything was going good, and I noticed something when we hit the lobby that she wasn't. She said she was getting tired, and I just thought it was just because of the age. I mean, there's no problem with being old. Um, so we got out in the parking lot. She goes, "I forgot where I parked." We was down close to the field center, and she collapsed. But before she collapsed, she said, "I'm getting tired. I gotta sit down." I said, "Ma'am, are you all right?" And she goes, "Yeah, I'm just getting tired." And okay, she just started bending over and she kneeled down and she kind of fell forward a little bit, but she got her hand out to stop her from falling face first. Well, she was trying to get her other leg around when she got on her rear end. She leaned to the side and her head went in the back of the grocery cart, not through the the metal piece that moves, but down below that. And I'm like, "Oh my God." I said, "This is not happening." And she got herself pulled up. I said, "Ma'am, are you all right? Do we need to call the paramedics?" I think she said no, but she mumbled something. And when they mumble after almost falling over like that, that means something seriously wrong. So she got up and she kind of stiffened up and she just started leaning back. I knew I had to do something, and my quick instincts was said, "Get your hand underneath the back of her head." And I did. I actually got my hand back there because she wasn't slowly moving backwards. It was like a medium speed. So I grabbed her and I guided her down, and I got her head relaxed on the concrete in the parking lot. I stand up. I looked around and I didn't see nobody, and so I kneeled down and said, "Ma'am, are you all right?" And she didn't answer me, and she just was staring off in the sun. Well, I got back up. I pulled my phone out of my pocket, and I was getting ready to call on the inside. I already had the dial. The call went through. It was ringing. I seen Eric on carts. I said, "Eric." I yelled at him, and I said, "Go get help." And he looked down and he just seen a set of, he just seen feet laying on the ground. So he pushed the carts back into the cart corral and he took off inside. I went to kneel back down and I was trying to get her to respond to me. The next thing I know, this guy came out of nowhere, and he got out. He said, "I'm a military." He was a military, not doctor, but medical or something. I can't remember how he actually worded it. And so he asked me what happened. I explained everything, and so he got down and he goes, "Ma'am." I mean, he was trying to get her to come back and respond. Next thing I know, I look up. Front end management was coming out on the walkie, radioing back to store management. And this, being a military soldier, you have to say who you are and what you do in the military. So, and he did. And so we got her up. He goes, "Ma'am, I'm going to help pick you up, get you on your feet." So, and I held my hands out. She grabbed my hands, and we both got her up, just him and I. And we got her to her vehicle. She said she didn't need no medical. She just, a lady from Waffle House went to Starbucks and got her a water. So she was drinking the water. She seemed okay. I don't know what happened, but she not blacked out, but she pretty much collapsed. And somewhat in my arms in front of me. And I don't know if that makes me an actual hero or what, but I'm going to call him a soldier because if he's active or not active, he's still a soldier to me. He goes, I looked at him, I held my hand out, I said, "I want to shake your hand, sir, and thank you." I said, "Thank you very much, sir." He goes, "No, thank you, sir. You done the right thing." At this time, my body is in complete shock. So we got her back to her vehicle. We stuck her groceries in her car. So we walked back. Well, he said he had to go. He wanted to make sure everything was alright. So he got in his truck. This guy was driving a big black truck, man. It was beautiful. Well, not knowing what service this guy was in, or a branch of the service that he was in, when he pulled away, I looked up in the back of his window. It was the United States Marine Corps. This guy served in the Marines. At least that's what it looked like to me, because like I said, I'm in shock. My vision's still not pulled together. I was scared. I didn't know what to do, and until I seen Eric, and I told him to go get help, and I might have been a hero, but the soldier, it came to my aid, the help. He was my hero. And I know you see the stuff on TV, on movies and stuff, where military guys, man, just show up out of nowhere and help somebody. Well, this actually legitly happened to me today. Some soldier helped me help an elderly woman. It collapsed pretty much in my arms in front of me. So I go into work, man. I'm trying to still pull my thoughts in my head together, and I got everybody talking to me, and I'm trying to explain bits and pieces, and it was to the point where I was in shock so bad I wanted to cry. I have not ever had anybody collapse in my arms or in front of me before. She pretty much collapsed in my arms because I was trying to hold her up, and I grabbed her arm, and put my hand on her up by her neck, or getting ready to when she actually fully collapsed. But I went, and it was time for my clock off. I went back around, and I went up to the front desk, and I said, "Thank you guys." And she said, "No, thank you, Jason." She goes, "You've done the right thing." That just brought tears to my eyes because I never ever saved anybody's life before like that. It still chokes me up a little bit that I knew I've actually saved somebody's life, because if I didn't put my hand underneath of her head when she was going down, she could have cracked her head open and bled out, or worse, concussion, or death, or all of the above. And I didn't want that on my conscience. So, like I said, quick thinking, hand on her head, finish later down. But I just want to let everybody know, no matter what you are in life, just be aware of your surroundings and the people around you, because you never know when you have to be there to save somebody's life. I want to say thank you for giving me this opportunity tonight to let me tell my story. I will see you on my next video.